I'm Heather Lee and I am the Frugal Fashionista. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Some of you may be following my blog, and if you are, welcome, because you get to see me in a whole new medium. But for those of you who haven't subscribed to my blog, feel free. I got the link down below. But I'm really excited to start this YouTube channel because now I can show you style tutorials, maybe invite some of my friends in and give them some style tips, and also teach you the latest about beauty, do a couple reviews. I don't know, there's all kinds of things that are going to happen, all kinds of craziness. And so if you want to keep up to date with the latest in fashion and how to be fashionable without breaking the bank, then you definitely want to hit subscribe to my YouTube channel. And of course, if you want to get social, I have all my social media information: Instagram, Google+, Facebook, Twitter. I've got so many, it's kind of hard to keep up with them all, but I have that information below the video as well. So today, for my first video, I want to talk about how to bring your fashion forward without actually having to buy a whole bunch of stuff. So here's my personal philosophy. You don't need to buy a whole bunch of things in order to look stylish. In fact, I'm going to tell you to avoid most trends because it's a lot of money. Trends don't last very long. So there's a way of having maybe a more classic look, but then adding a couple of pieces to make you look fashion forward if you're trying to look like the models in the magazine, or just try to look like you're dressing for this century or this decade. So, because that century was, some of you still wear 70s and 80s garb. I know who you are. I know you're watching. And you need to stop it. So we're going to bring you forward to 2015 here. So here's a couple of my style tips on how to bring your fashion forward without having to spend a whole lot of money. So for starters, mixing metallics, great way to be fashion forward. And I know some of you are thinking, no. Silver and gold don't go together. Actually, they do. Metallics are a great way to dress up any kind of outfit. So whether it's jewelry, maybe shoes, you can mix metallics very thoughtfully and make it work. So for example, if you want baby steps, you could use something like this. Kind of hold my hand behind it so you can see a little bit better. It's a mixture of gold and silver, and by the way, this is an antique brooch from the 1960s. So you can see that they've been mixing metallics for quite some time. Rose gold, bronze, silver, different types of gold, antique gold, more tarnished gold, maybe brighter gold. It all works as long as you have pieces that are thoughtfully put together. So you can mix it. I'll give you a quick story. One afternoon I was in, I think it was Claire's, one of those mall places that sells accessories, and this woman had a gold pair of earrings and she was trying desperately to match it exactly to her necklace that she was trying to buy. And I'll be honest with you, she was spending a lot of time at the register, and I said, look, you know, it's a little fashion forward. It doesn't match that much. It is not that big of a difference, because even though it's your earrings and your necklace, it's not close enough for people to really notice, hey, wait a minute, that's not the exact same color of gold. But it's a great way to mix it up if you want to mix metallics and add some interest to your outfit. So like I said, find pieces that maybe already have it in there, so you can mix this with maybe a silver necklace and maybe some rose gold earrings and make it look fantastic, as long as it doesn't look like you were dressing in the dark. It needs to have some sort of purpose behind it. So mixing metallics, step number one. So the second step to bringing your fashion forward is to invest in accessories. Accessorize, accessorize, accessorize. Now, Coco Chanel, she's fabulous. I'm going to disagree with her. Many of you have heard Coco Chanel, the designer, say that how many ever accessories you have, take one off before leaving the house. And I'm not going to really agree with that. But there are ways to invest in accessories, because the cool thing about accessories is that whatever's popular now will probably be popular again in about 5 to 10 years. So like, for example, statement necklaces are really, really big. So you can wear huge statement necklaces like this one. I'm actually wearing this tomorrow. So we get a little bit of a closer look. There's a little bit of a glare from the lighting. Or this is my favorite, but it's almost like a torture chamber. It's very hard to put on, and I have a very small neck, so I don't know what would happen to people with standard size necks, but you'll see with this necklace is a cuff, but then look at that, very, very long. This goes in the back, by the way. So when it goes along your back. Great if you're wearing a strapless or some sort of, not strapless, but a backless is what I mean to say. A backless dress, and this is obviously a statement piece. So earrings like these that I have on right now, kind of a statement piece. Bracelets, scarves, great, particularly if you're looking for a pattern that is very in fashion. Good example, chevrons, which by the way, chevron prints are starting to go out. They're dying a very slow death, and they do need to die because I'm not a fan, obviously. It doesn't work for my body type, but chevron prints, very popular. So rather than invest in maybe a chevron skirt, one thing you can do, and this was actually a gift, is to invest in a chevron bag. And by the way, this bag is huge. See how big it is? It's half the size of me. It works out perfectly though, because I teach, so I have plenty of stuff to put in there, and it actually could work as a double as a overnight bag, or maybe even a beach bag because we're near the beach. So that's one way to invest in pieces, is to take those patterns and invest in scarves or bags, and that's a good way of being able to put trends into your wardrobe without having to spend a whole lot of money on it. Okay, so the third step is to invest in some new neutrals. Obviously, this jacket I'm wearing, it's kind of an olive green, and it would be considered a neutral, obviously. Black, white, earth tone colors, gray, those are obviously neutrals. And you want to have a good balance of color and neutral in your outfit as well. But there are neutrals that are a little bit more fashion forward that we don't think of as neutrals. For example, and hopefully the lighting picks this up, this fabulous nail polish, it's probably going to come across as black. Maybe see if I can get the light. It is actually a very dark purple. I have several polishes like this. This is a New York & Company polish, and it's called Violet Smoke, and you can definitely tell that it is violet in the light. But it's very dark. I love using it for my toes and sometimes my fingernails because it's a little bit different of a neutral. It's not quite black, but it's close enough that it can pass as a neutral. Another example are these fabulous pants that I have. And see if I can get the color. These are kind of a medium color blue. They're dark. They're not exactly a navy. In fact, they're not even close to a navy. But they are kind of a bright blue color. And they're just dark enough to pass as a neutral. So if you normally would wear navy pants, maybe opt for a little bit of a different color blue, and you can, it will work with the same clothes, I promise. It will definitely match. So you can definitely use these as well. So look for those colors that are a little bit different neutrals, the dark purples, maybe some of the deep reds, things that are so dark in color that they would match absolutely anything. And you can definitely find some more examples of where I mix some of those new neutrals on my blog, which again, the link is down below. Okay, so step 4 is a little bit different, and some of you may have an issue with this particular one because those of you who are short are going to argue with me that you can't wear some of these things, and I'm going to tell you you can, because I'm 5'1" and I do wear them on a regular basis, and that is what we like to call non-traditional cuts. So for example, let's say you have a suit, and I do this all the time. A suit in black can be kind of a little bit conservative and a little bit blah, can be. Now there's some black suits that are great, and I will do a video on some of your investment pieces and talk about why suits need to be tailored a certain way. Part of it's the tailoring that makes it look really, really good on your body. But there's ways of incorporating certain things into your suits or into other types of wardrobe that makes it look a little bit more fashion forward. And particularly those pieces you use professionally, because professional pieces can get a little blah because you have pants, you have skirts, and there's only so much you can do with them. So, same blue pants as before, but they are ankle pants. So they come about, these are actually petite, so these come about 1.5 inches above my ankles. Again, some of you are saying, I'm short, and I'm going to tell you it doesn't matter. Pair it with a good heel or a wedge, and depending on how they're cut, if it's like a straight kind of cut, it may actually slim you and you can wear a flat with it. These, when I wear a flat with them, it looks kind of strange only because it's cut in a way that emphasizes my hips, and I have a little bit of base, just being honest, actually quite a bit of base. In fact, that's where the majority of my weight I hold, which is true for most women. So it kind of makes me look a little bit curvier than what I would like. Crop jackets, fantastic. If you're really tall, you might want to be careful with this because it will make you look even leggier and maybe unproportional. This I actually feature on my blog if you want to look for the picture. But this comes, the button comes right about here on me. And it's cropped, it comes above the hip bone, it's short sleeved. And so even though the material itself looks a little bit dated, the cut isn't, and it works really well. And I can pair this with a nice pair of trouser jeans. I can pair it with a skirt or dress or with regular pants, slacks. So it works with so many different things. Another one that is this fabulous, what we call this is a scarf hem. I don't know if you can see it. I'm gonna have to back up. Oh, technology. If you notice, it's got kind of an interesting little, it's called a scarf hem. Some people call it a shark bite. There's a little bit of a difference between the two, but you'll notice that it's kind of interesting shaped. So those are some of the non-traditional cuts. So wear a suit with a cropped pant, an ankle pant, maybe even a capri if you really want to go for it, and pair it with a nice heel. Maybe get a jacket that's cropped or has, like this, has the cuffs to it. And those are good ways to be able to bring your fashion a little bit forward and make a suit or anything you're wearing professionally look really, really, really good.